Hello, and today we'll be playing the newest update of Gnoll Way Home. So it's been over a year since the last update, and hopefully it won't be as long until the next update comes out. Hopefully it won't have to wait so long between updates. But anyway, this is the newest update here, and I'm playing this as a patron, so hopefully there won't be any major differences when this patron update becomes public. So we're gonna start chapter 3, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start the chapter. I'm not going to recap everything that's happened. I can go to the prior videos I did for this and play them yourself and see everything that happened. But I'm not entirely, it's been so long since the last update. I'm not entirely that I don't really entirely remember everything that happened, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at it myself. But a lot of times, like games like this, when it hasn't been updated for such a long time, when I continue from where it left off, it does drop my memory back. I do memorize stuff. When I continue with the story. So a lot of times for me, it's not quite as much of a need for me to go back as other people would. Other people would have to. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start chapter 3. So I made a new save right here. I didn't think getting exercise would require so much exercise. Score has us march out at the Crackathon, and naturally foregoing any long, drawn-out farewells by virtue of everyone wanted to immediately go right back to sleep after. The pace he sets for us is grueling compared to the brisk afternoon stroll we took with Opal on the way here. Tao's little legs have to put in twice the effort to keep up, but he seems determined. Meanwhile, I'm back here with a belly full of soup and regret. Sticky finds opportunity to misread my discomfort and anxiety about the path before us and decides to soothe me with spooky stories about the Wormwood. So, there was this bandit fella, right? Big bad wolf, huge cock. Is that relevant? Always. Anyway, he's on the run from the Imperial militia. Probably did some very cool crimes. And he's the last of his crew. The rest all got wiped out. But they had a stash full of stolen treasure in the woods, you see, and it was more than enough to run away and live comfortably on it if you ain't gotta split it. So he figures he'll go dig it up and go retire out in the countryside, put all the bandit business behind him. Dumbass didn't realize the Wormwood had expanded into the woods. It does that? Yep. Place grows like mold on bread. Except more purple. So anyways, he heads out to the forest, but he don't realize nothing's wrong until he wakes up to find his clothes crawling on his back. All his leathers got infested with wound rot. They started turning purple and slimy and crawling around on him with 1,000 prickly little legs. Now he's heard stories of the Wormwood. Of course, everybody has, so he knows what kind of shit he stepped in here. But he can live without his clothes. He can buy the finest skills and shit once he gets his hands on that treasure. So he ditches his duds and keeps going. But he starts getting lost. The forest ain't laid out the way it's supposed to be. Next day, he wakes up choking on his own fangs. A couple of them just fell right out while he was sleeping. But he figures, what the hell? It's only a couple of teeth, right? With all that treasure, he can buy new teeth, maybe even gold ones. So he keeps going. Next day, he starts hearing the voices of long-lost loved ones telling him to turn back. But he's stubborn. He don't listen to him. After a while, he can't hear him no more because his ears fell off. But that's okay. He figures the silent song of that treasure's all he needs to hear. Next day, he thinks he's getting real close, but throughout the day, his fingers and toes start falling off and skittering away one by one. But that's okay. He figures he'll be able to afford servants to wait on him hand and foot. By the time he finally reaches the stash, ain't 2 months of him left. Probably pretty slow rolling when you're crawling through the forest on your belly and musty steps. That's okay. He figures the treasure's all that matters. So he stumps himself up in the tree hollow the Groot hid the treasure in. And it ain't till he's finally there that he realizes he can't dig it up no more, much less haul it out of there. And he can't even cry about it, none, because he ain't got no mouth anymore either. So the forest claims him with one final scream idea, like it does everyone who sets foot in there. How does he scream if he has no mouth? Well, good question. Well, thanks for sharing, I guess. He keeps going, one story after another, and then only escalate from there. Unsurprisingly, they all share a theme. Bad things happen in the woods. It seems that people who go into the wormwood come out changed, or not at all. Tav corrects him on the details now and then, but mostly addendums just serve to make the outcomes even more horrific. At the conclusion of a particularly grisly tale, I can't help but ask the obvious. None of that stuff can happen to Gnolls, right? We're immune. As long as you aren't born there. Whatever protection we have doesn't seem to kick in until after we're born. That's why Deathroot works. The stuff we were peeling for Nika. Keep an eye out for that while we're here. That and dire fennel. Heh. Feed either of those to an Imperial and they'll croak in seconds. But we use it for cooking. Stinky wraps an arm around me, tugging me in close and waggling his eyebrows so suggestively that I fear they might escape his face. Oh yeah, we're gonna cook all right. Knock off the grab ass back there. And make sure you get these tracks covered. Don't want us trailed. Sticky sighs and makes a sweeping gesture as he brings up the rear, the dirt and mud behind us moving to flatten out and erase our trail. Hope you got all that chatter out of your systems. We're about to head into hostile territory, and that kind of yapping is gonna get us snapped up like falling into a snapdragon nest. Yeah, sure. Everything looks the same in here, but the smell. I could smell that same river we passed by a few days ago that made a sort of natural boundary on the outskirts of the Wormwood. Between the fresh green smell on this side and the scary purple on the other, we pause our track on this side of the river, snagging some more of the delicious fruits while Scar drills us on dangerous signals for the 5th time today. He relays brief one-syllable shouts and accompanying hand gestures for the 3 major dangers we're most likely to encounter here. That way we have one signal for when we can't see each other, and one for when we need to be quiet. Snap. A gesture resembling a snapping maw and a snapdragon nest. Wash her feet for the bitey little buggers. And I got rid of it, but a species of serpent-like moving plants that infest the windwood. Though their jagged maws appear dangerous, they can do little more than bite and swallow the vermin-sized prey. Thankfully, they're not fully ambulatory, though particularly long ones can wrap around in between the branches of trees. Each is still bound by their base in. Well, I can pause and read the rest for yourselves there. Trog. Fingers crossed. Troglodytes. Hold your breath on their stents. It's likely to make you pass out. A reptilian people cursed with an ever-present oily secretion, I think, that invokes such a foul odor as to thoroughly debilitate nearby creatures with intense nausea. They tend to live solitary existences outside of mating season, and as even they cannot stand one another's stench. Surprisingly, they're one of the few people's not permitted to reside within the Empire at all, so many have taken refuge within the werewolf and suffer its corruption. Sticky says he could take one in a fight. Brute. Fingers extended in groups of two with a wide gap in the middle. Brute witches drop everything in one. A coven of brood mother devotees that have taken up residence in the Wormwood following the Grand Crusade. Their number mostly consists of gnolls that are largely immune to the deleterious effects of the Wormwood, but there are some of our peoples mixed in as well. Their particular dogma ties virtue to something's capacity to spawn new life, but they do not distinguish between people and lower life forms in this value system. They even consider disease itself to be a form of life for its capacity to spread. They can read the rest down here. Pause the video and I can read the rest down here. They're by far the most dangerous thing in this whole damn place. Like Nika, they wish they were half that scary, but they make up for it in numbers. She was actually being groomed for a leadership position in their coven. I take it they can do some nasty magic. Super nasty. Seems to be the way of witches. Scar size, taking a look back into the forest depths. Not in my experience, most witches are just woven who had the good sense to cut ties with the Empire and go do their own thing out in the woods. Sometimes with other women they fancied or a bunch of cats. But the brood witches, they're a different sort. They got fed up with the ways of the warlords, decided to make their own little slice of hell in the Wormwood. With the brood mother's domain and its struggles in the abyssal bowels of the forest, they breed all manner of abominations down there. And if the brood mother ain't seen fit to bless you, well, then you're worth less than shit to them. That's why Nika left, ain't it? On account of she can't. Enough of that. What's past is past. At least let him finish. Now, okay. Well, after we're at least let him finish. Nah, I'm okay. Well, after after we're through here, it'll be smooth sailing through the Empire, right? Hardly. The Empire ain't a good place to be a no, especially if you ain't got papers. We're not well regarded there. There's a place where enough coin could buy forgiveness for any crime. Even being born wrong. I heard some of the old warlords did that, right? Yeah, the last few holdouts against the Crusade traded away their lands and people to get out, to get on the Emperor's good side. The Grand Crusade, the Empire's turn for their quest. The Force would bring all other cultures that encounter under their rule. After their conquest of nearly all nearby tribes over the past few generations, they now turn their gaze seaward to see if they can expand beyond their continent. Dopes on a boat. His pet noble savages, the good ones, necessary acceptance to prove his wool, to prove the wool. So it's the kind of place where coin rolls everything. Yep, and the rich ain't too keen to share. Wealth only trickles down when the wealthy are bled. You used to be good at that. I used to be a lot of things. Yeah, Tao forges on ahead, past us, making his way to the violent side of the river. He seems so certain about where he's going. I'd be so lost without him, all of them really. How can they all leave the comfort of home so readily? How did I convince them to trek halfway across the world for something that might not even work? I already miss soup. Our expedition comes to a pause in one of the greener thickets on the side of the river, revealing a decrepit set of ruins long since lost to the forest's embrace. Taff looks sought to see it, not just sit again. Look, we have to engage on its terms. Where is it? Oh, them brute mother markings, ain't they? Taff snatched the journal back from me to consult. Things that get lost in here should stay lost. They're better off forgotten. It chose to appear before us. So, things that get lost in here should stay lost. They're better off forgotten. It chose to appear before us, so we should use this opportunity here. He recounts an entry about the vanishing stones or swine to brood mother that appears before travelers of the wormwood. A type of swine devoted to brood mother that seems to move from place to place within the wormwoods. They can be used as a site of of augury of augury to divine omens for fates tied to the wormwood itself, and can also be used for many of womb mother's sacrificial rites. I think it looked at me. I want to go home. Apparently, its appearance is regarded as either as an auspicious omen or a portent of a grisly fate. Either way, big deal. It can provide safe passage through the forest if you pay proper respect or ensure our doom if we don't. So how do we use it respectfully? We beseech its wisdom and abide by its response. Uh, we need bones for arguing, will or woe. The little Gnoll frets about his unpreparedness, but with a beleaguered growl, Scar ends up being the one to produce a pair of bones to roll. These are supposed to be a gift for the big guy. Ah, so don't leave him here as an offering or nothing. Bring him back when you're done. Are you gonna? Leave me out of it. He marches out sullenly, refusing to engage with the mysticism of the place. Yeah, he doesn't seem like the pious type. I guess you could say he's agnostic. Laugh. Okay, we can make this work. So let's whisper questions of bones and then roll them on the dice. Despite Tao's excitement to take advantage of this opportunity, he seems paralyzed with uncertainty or what exactly to ask. Just the one question, each one, no discussion before or after. To do otherwise would test the stone's patience. Sounds like the kind of thing to get smited for. Smoke? Sticky plucks a die with an indecisive little no and makes the first roll. He doesn't spend any time at all to ponder his questions, snickering to himself and whispering a soulful inquiry to the dice before rolling. Judging from his expression and the brief outcoming, and judging by the brief outcome altering tremor that passed through the ground, I don't think he got the answer he wanted. He shrugs and tosses the die back to Tav, sipping over it. Tav trembles a bit as he looks down at the die. He clutches, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath before whispering away. Please. I can't bear the loss. I know what he's asking for. He's beseeching the divine for the one thing he loves most. The gods have done nothing but take from him. Does he really think they'll reverse that trend in exchange for a little piety? Sticky pries my arm from in front of my face to hand over a die when it's my turn. Where did he? Sticky motions back along the trail. I guess I'd better hurry and roll before the leash drags me away. Will we be okay? The die is cast. I watch with bated breath as it tumbles across the dice. It comes to rest, but not as it should. It lays perilously in the embrace of a crack in the stonework, its result uncertain. It lays perilously in the embrace of a crack in the stonework, its result uncertain. But it's mostly will side up, I think. My uncertainty spikes as I gather up the dice. Am I just overthinking this? Is any of it even real? Is that thought alone enough to draw divine ire? The sudden tug of my collar does wonders to distract me. It's a problem. It's a problem with a clear solution. That's nice. When last light falls upon us, we make camp for the evening. Though with how light we're traveling, it's a bit of a stretch to even call it a camp. Still, there's enough firelight to let Tav make some additions to the journal. The brilliant violet hues that dance across the skyline after the sun goes down cast him in an ethereal glow that really captivates my gaze. Maybe I just like purple. It's a pretty color. Taff catches me staring, and I point at cavort, those cavorting colors and at those cavorting colors up in space. A soft smile creeps across his face as he stops to take them in. This place can actually be kinda beautiful sometimes. Yeah, if you ignore everything else. Sticky pouts down and thumbs through the journal while we're distracted. Man, there's a whole lot of stuff in here. You read it all, only as it becomes relevant. Huh? What's this part in the back without any pictures? Well, it's nothing, just a story. I know some of these words. Taff snatches the journal back with lightning speed. Look, if I'm going through all the effort to write this, I get to be a little indulgent, okay? Enough yammering. Get some damn set-eye already. I'll be on first watch, kid. You got second. Despite those gruff orders, Sticky looks proud to be entrusted with such a worthy task. What's got him so cranky lately? Maybe it's on account of all the brood witches holding the spooky ghost club out in the woods. He was never like this back when he was training me in gas for courier duty. I mean, he was always hard on us, so even managed to scare gas into obedience. I feel that in my bones. But he wasn't this bad. He was just really focused, mission-oriented. But right when we were getting the hang of things, he disappeared on us. Do you think it's cause I'm here? He has always been like this around you. Nah, he was great back when I was growing up. Cause I didn't get to see him all that often. Said the type of work he did was too dangerous to be lugging a kid around. So I tagged along with Oprah instead while he did the whole traveling healers act. So he went out on you too. Nah, well, I mean, I still got to see him on my name day every year. He'd always come round with a big bloody sack full of coins for Oprah and plenty of stories for me. It was my favorite time of year. Of course, I guess he bounced pretty early after I popped out, left behind two names for me to pick from. And one of them was Stinky. Haha, nah, came up with that one on my own. Sort of a placeholder, I guess. I tossed out the girl name right away, but I don't really feel like I've earned a boy one yet. You don't really need to earn being a boy. Yeah, but I ain't really a man yet. Need a proper conquest for that. Gotta wrestle a dragon or punch God or something. You really don't. I mean, compared to everything Scar's done, I really am still just a kid. Heh, I always used to start a real ruckus when we saw his bounty posters up in whatever village we're rolling through back then. I'd jump up and down and shout, "That's my daddy," till we started getting run out of town for it. But seeing him again now, I thought things would be different now that I'm grown. I just wish I could do something to make him proud, you know? You don't owe him anything. Well, I at least gotta make me proud of me, right? And if he's there to see it, then that's a bonus. Can't convince him I'm a proper man till I feel that way myself. And you don't feel that way already. And you don't. And you don't feel that way already. You still seem more than man enough to me. Well, that's sweet of you. And flattery will get you flattened. But all I really got going for me is my Vulcan. I mean, from what I've seen, you're also pretty good with people and kind to them. Yeah, well, anybody can do that. But not everybody does. That's already impressive if you ask me. Well, butter me up some more, why don't you? But that kind of thing don't get campfire stories written about here. Tal snaps the journal shut and blows out the fire. We should get some sleep. You idiot. Did you really think you meant... We should get some sleep. You idiot. Did you really think they meant you? Poor thing. It thinks it's people. The looks on their faces when a Gnoll sold up for their little book club. Oh, they'll be talking about that one for years. You don't belong here. You're too slow, too stupid. They were just waiting for you to fall. Go back to the garbage heap you found that book in. Back to the trash-strewn alley their flyer blew into. Back where you belong. At least here, you have him. His scent calms you. He's left out a plate of cheese for toy maker. A god presiding over the domain of merriment, whose followers strive to bring cheer and comfort to others. I could find little historical account to suggest what period of time he reigned, but it's likely his tenure as god was short given that his domain is only celebrated one night a year. That's when he brings toys to good little boys and girls who leave out a plate of cheese for him, but only if they still believe. Why wouldn't you? The toys are evidence enough. Guess it's kind of like Santa Claus in a lot of way. That he's like the Santa Claus somewhat. The jolly god doesn't seem to come around too often for homeless little rascals like you two. But this year, this will have to do. A sackcloth mockery of a Gnoll. The best you big dumb paws could sit together. You scarf down the rotten bits of gutter scavenged cheese and leave the toy in its place, a handwritten note tucked beneath it. It's easier to be brave when you have someone else to protect. What sallow drivel, the best you could come up with after so long. He deserves better, but all he has is you. You curl up with him as he dreams of what Toymaker will bring. You already have what you want most in this world. You pray to the gods that the two of you will never part. The wilted birdsong of the wormwood tells me from that dream. The gentle warmth of Taff curled up in my arms feels so right. It breaks my heart to gently peel free of him, especially with those tears straining his cheeks. This has become somewhat of a routine in the days since we left Saddletuss, a little peek into Gas's life, a cold reminder as reality sets in, a full bladder demanding to be unleashed. How many more mornings remain? How long do I get to stay with him? And how is that? And how is it that I march so calmly towards our inevitable parting? I remind myself to focus on problems that have immediate actionable solutions, like full bladders. I catch Stinky at the stagnant pond near our campsite, using its reflection for a bit of a save as his watch sifts wraps as his watch sift wraps up. It didn't take you for the grooming type. Oh, well, I gotta keep on top of it or it gets all poofy. Now that he reminds, now that he remained, now that he mentioned it, I did notice a few Gnoll women back in town that had real fluffy neck manes. It looked so soft on them. Is that what he looks like when he lets it go? Wait, that's not Nika's knife, is it? Ha! As if she let anybody take Flesh Carver. A sacred ceremonial dagger used by the brood witches of the Woundwood for all sorts of gruesome rituals. Nika mostly uses it for lunchtime. While it is suitable for an inner meat, yes, it's more notable for its magic ability to effortlessly carve through still living flesh while instantly sealing any wounds it creates. Stories say the brood witches used it to keep their victims alive while slowly carving off pieces of them for ritual sacrifice. She threatened to end my family line with it if I touched it again. Well, don't play with magic knives then. That thing's bloodthirsty. Might be handy if we run into trouble. Don't need a knife for that. We got my Vulcan. Is that good in the fight? Probably. Never tried before. These guys always settle things first. He smirks and flexes for me. But brood witches respect Vulcans enough not to mess with us. And Imperials, they run scared at any Vulcan that ain't on their lease. Vulcans, people who are capable of channeling magic from the domain of a god using a gate within their body. Most Vulcans achieve this power through lifelong prayer and devotion to their god, but some exceptionally rare individuals are just born blessed by a god and awaken a gate naturally. Lucky fuckers, I want to vote myself. I guess like these Vulcans are able to defend others with the powers that their god gives them. So I guess. His deep belly laugh is interrupted by a deep belly grumble. Mine answers it in agreement. I curse myself for exhausting our bonus fruit supply days ago. So we really can't eat anything here? I mean, we can, but Scar says the plants this deep tend to bite back. A gnow's gut spells doom for even the craftiest of parasites. But the line between plant and critter is starting to get real blurry this far in. Never know which trees got eyes. Keep it together. So it's dirt for dinner till we hit the other side. I'm starting to hate dirt. I can make it mud if you prefer. That's not better. Wrap it up. We're moving 5. Too damn cold to be sitting around doing nothing. Sticky snickers as the older Gnoll stomps back towards camp. He could he never could handle the cold. That's how him and Oprah met, you know. Dug him out of a blizzard and had to warm him up with his body to keep him from freezing to death. Is he cold-blooded? Oh, you should probably know that. Things get lost in this forest, forgotten. The last dregs of a people nearly extinguished by bastards in shining armor. The smell reaches us long before we find her. I know, dead for months by the smell of it. Her body's overgrown with the forest rot. I suppose our protection doesn't keep going after we die. Taff kneels down to examine her piercings. Dawnbringer. Find some dry brush and we'll start a fire. Crater of light and flame whose domain is not visible in the sky above as the sun. She often saw worship as a bringer of cleansing flame to sour evil from the land, but like many faiths, her followers have been steadily converting to worship of the emperor in recent generations. Her domain grows stronger in the summer months, empowering her voters. This enrichment reaches its apex at the summer solstice, and festivals are typically held in celebration of her. Back in the Empire, the other workers would beg her to turn down the sun whenever morning came. Are we really going to burn her? Someone has to, otherwise she won't go to her destined domain. The outer realms in which the old gods reside after they are slung. Wait a minute. The old realms in which the old gods reside after they are slain. Each is suffused with the very essence of that god's magic that their evokers can draw upon. Domains also serve as the eternal resting place of the gods' faithful. Since our world the emperor's domain, then, since he ain't dead yet. So she gets stuck here? Worse, she'll go to hell. Worse, she'll go to hell. That thought haunts me as I sour the surroundings for tender. Internal damnation and suffering through no fault of your own sounds all too familiar. Or a cosmic joke. The brush I bring back fails you at night. It's too wet. Are you doing this wrong on purpose as a joke? No, I'm doing it wrong on accident, as an idiot. Don't call yourself that. If you want a job done right. Scar takes matters into his own hands and gets the fire started surprisingly quickly. Come on then, you kids don't need to smell a no burn. That scent ain't easy to forget. Silence falls as we walk upwind of the impromptu funeral site. My need to clear the air bludgeons my anxiety into submission. Did you fight in the war with wrath? Hell no. Fighting a war on their terms is what dipsits do. If you're playing by someone else's rules, they've already won. Wrath was a hero. Heroes are the first ones to die. They hold the line. I did my fighting behind enemy lines. Like dirty work? As dirty as it gets. He forces on ahead, making it clear he's done with that line of inquiry. Despite everything, the smell of smoke still manages to cling to my fur. It's not the only thing. Eventually, we manage to find a spring that seems a bit safer than the surrounding environs, a lot less purple too. It's the first chance we had to actually bathe since we left. This sensitive nose gives me a new appreciation for that. Like I can always smell stinky and talc when they're near, but after sweating through this humid jungle for so long, it's getting distracting. Sticky especially. Scar snarls at seeing his own reflection in the spring and turns to leave once Sticky cannonballs in. Tao sneers at him as he departs. I guess he prefers to bathe alone. Sticky bobs up from beneath the surface to concur. Yeah, ain't exactly the communal bathing type. Can't imagine why. Says he don't got a Says he don't gotta anyway on account of his way. The way? Is that why I can't smell him? Yep, Oprah made it for him back when they first got together. I ain't never seen him without it. Or smelled him without it, for that matter. That feels a bit lonely. The way you guys smell feels important. Yeah, but I guess it's better for sneaking around. And Sticky Sticky sets in for a nice, luxurious soak. I realize no amount of water will fix him. He's just like that. If anything, the water gets him instead. Once Taff settles in, I notice him eyeing some flowers growing along the pond's edge. Want me to dig those up? No, I don't need them anymore. Besides, we shouldn't be disturbing plants this far in. Oh yeah, they might be brewed with spies. Okay, yes, it's paranoid, but that's the kind of weird this place runs on. I smirk down at him as he crumples a bit beneath my gaze. Turn around. Heh, why? So I can wash your back. Gas can't reach, and I don't think demons come double joined. Here, don't want gas coming back to moss growing on him. Or barnacles. Don't they have barnacles here? Probably. And several ones down my spine as Tav comes his claws through my fur. This feels nice, tender, familiar. You boys want some alone time? What? Oh, shit. I'm at full mass. Tav peeks around after Stinky's comment and quickly realizes how my body is reacting to his touch. You can take it from here. Stinky laughs hard enough to send ripples through the entire pond as Tav dashes off to get dressed. Ugh. Ah, come on, big guy. Happens all the time with boys your age. Great. This should probably go before my collar drags me out. Bummer. The cold nips at me only briefly before I shake off most of the water clinging to my fur. I can almost smell the wet nose scent setting in on my way back to the tree we hung our clothes on. But when I reach it, the air grows thick. The wind cackles. The purple creeps down from above. The tree begins to twist and bend, its branches audibly snapping as they contort and fold in on themselves. The knothole in the center yawns open with unsettling ferocity as our clothes begin to tumble down into it. It's eating them. I have to. Choice here. See what happens when I do this. Give them back. A sweat beyond my ken surges through me as my body leaps forward. I grip the tree's hold and force it open while tugging at the garments it's devouring. The bark is disgustingly slick and pliable in my paws. Help! Within seconds, the others rush over. Scar sort of checks the tree and it wails in agony. This seems to break its grip on the clothes, but that just sends me tumbling backwards to bowl over Tav. Get off me! He huffs and storms off, blushing just as brightly as before. Hey, thanks for the rescue, bud. We're gonna need these once we hit the Empire lands. Yeah, looking down over my own hard-worn garments, I can see the touch of the forest has already started to creep in. Even this place that seemed so safe just moments ago. I hate to see what it does to people who don't share our immunity. I don't like it here. The trees keep petting me. The canopy root scar has us taking means we pass over the worst of the wormwood. Way over, the trees grow so tall here I can't even guess how high up we are. The wormwood really does buckle inwards like a yawning chasm. The further in we go, I started to imagine the horrors that convert in the dark so far beneath us. But up here, upon branches, the corruption feels more distant. There's barely even a purple. Air sure is fresh up here, so fresh. Scar glowers at him. Come on, we want to reach the other side before sundown. I can't imagine camping up here is a good idea. Sticky seems intent on filling the dead air with whatever comes to mind, jokes, stories, song. Pipe down, kid. We're still in Brewis territory. Sticky makes an exaggerated lip zipping motion but keeps humming. I notice he's shaking a bit. Well, quite a lot, actually. You doing okay, bud? Great. I've just never been so far from the ground before. Oh yeah, heights can be scary. I mean, cliffs are one thing, but I can't feel the earth at all up here. It's like my feet have blindfolds on. Just lean on me. You'll be okay. Man, I feel useless right now. You're not. I mean, I can't even vote up here. Guess I'm just me now. We'll be back down before you know it. Yeah, you're right. Hey, don't worry about me. I can handle this. I just need to man up and tough out. We'll handle it together. Scar ends up pushing his way past Tough. Taking point. You take 5. I don't need 5. Look, Packet's Trixie up ahead. Needs a keen eye. I know, we've taken this path more times than you have by now. Scar fails to respond. Tough wells. A storm is brewing. I can feel it in my gut. Nausea begins to bubble up. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Only got the one-eyed kid and the 8 for looking behind me. Ha, you know, you're a real piece of work, Scar. Tension hangs in the air as the storm surges. Scar maintains his silence. I'm starting to feel dizzy. Nothing to say, huh? It's like you're not even there. No response, but Tav just can't stop picking at the wound. Oh, sorry. Being deadbeat dad must be so awkward for you. Tav. Look, Sticky's way too nice to tell you, but you're a terrible father. Lightning strikes. My ears are ringing. Holy shit, Tav. And yet he still looks up to you. Does know why. Well, there's a problem right there. He can be anything he wants, and it's my footsteps he's trying to follow. Kids should be reaching for the stars, not rolling in the dirt. You don't fucking get it, don't you? Anything is better than someone who isn't there. Do you have any idea what it's like? Growing up not knowing where your parents are? Wondering every day if they're even still alive? Wishing that someday they might come save you? And you chose to inflict that on him. Look here, you little shit. I bust my ass every day to provide for them. Do you really think a wanted man could keep them safe? You were better off without me around. The best thing I could be for them was gone. Oh, I know where we are. He falls. After a thump and the scratching of claws against bark, he plummets away into the dark expanse below. That's all it takes, though, to alert them. All at once dozens of unruly vines unfold from around the branch we tread upon, lashing out and nipping at our heels. One wraps around my foot, the world turns upside down. I fall. Oh, snapdragons are kind of cute. I'm an idiot. They were just waiting for you to fall. Time stands still. My body falls to the damp. The bitter chill overtakes me, but then grows warm. Pressure around my limbs, around my throat. The dragon. The smell of strange, intoxicating aromas. Soft muttering. Laughing? So it turns out demons have very normal wieners. Who'd have, who'd have thought? Who would have thought? My eyes shoot open. I try to push myself up, but my body won't move. Whoa, since he's still alive. You good, bud? After a fall like that, I doubt he can even move. Haha, yeah, about that. I feel two pairs of paws dragging me back to prop up against rough stone. One of them feels absurdly large. We appear to be in some kind of cave filled with all manner of glowing fungal growths. Stinky stands before me, wiping his brow. In relief or from exertion, it's hard to tell. At his side is a green-haired gnoll I had never seen before. He smells spicy, herbal, a cavalcade of exotic plants with one in particular standing out above the others to tie them all together. Cilantro. How you feeling, Plover? Alive? That's a great place to start. And uphill. We're all uphill from here. Where are we? The wormwood. We fell straight to the bottom. We should be meat moss. Well, we should be meat moss, but right now. It's a miracle you fell right into that mud bog. I didn't even know it was there. Hey, where's Tough? Neither has an immediate answer for me. Probably looking for us right now. I'm sure they'll find us soon. I bet they're probably burying the hatchet, and they'll be best friends by the time they get here. Please tell me you didn't jump on purpose to give them some alone time. Damn, that's actually a good idea. We could move him to the village if we had a stretcher, but there's a village down here. Brood witches? I don't know. Thank the mother. They leave us alone nowadays since the curse took root. Curse? Ah, don't worry. It's not contagious, just you're probably better off not seeing what's left of them. This does not instill confidence. The faint sound of distant weeping sweeps through the forest before echoing into the old cave we're hidden away in. I still get going. They get a bit distressed when I'm gone too long. We should be safe here for the night. Most creatures avoid this place. The mushrooms are as deadly as they are beautiful. Are they tasty? A bit like grass. Are they tasty? A bit like glass. I'll take glass over dirt. I'm so sick of dirt. Anyway, I'll grow some vines tonight and get a stretcher woven up by morning. Oh, you got a little. Cilantro notices the tiny sprout emerging emerging from beneath his bandages and swiftly nips it in the bud. Thanks. They don't need to see that. And with that, he departs, leaving the two of us alone in this weird glowing cave. I, kinda expected everyone to be hostile down here. Oh, nah. Cilantro's good folk. Ain't never met his kin, though. Think he's the last weep wallow still up and moving. So, weep wallow. A tribe of gnolls living in the depths of the wormwood, their bloodline cursed to slowly botanized over time as they follow to melancholy. It seems this melody, I guess, takes root before the weep wallow are born. The very same principle is what causes the brood witches to favor this place for their cruel machinations, as it allows them to tinker with those yet unborn. Hate that. I take it the curse is pretty bad. Yeah, he doesn't like to talk about it, but I'm an expert at prying. I believe you. Some kind of dispute between them and the brood witches ended up calling down brood mother's wrath on their whole bloodline, or maybe Earth Mother. I ain't sure. One of the mommy gods makes them prone to getting real sad, and the sadder they get, the more they start turning into freaky tree people. Seriously? Like they're melting into the forest itself, and that just gets them sadder, so it's a messy spiral. Cilantro does its best to feed and care for them, but it's a losing battle. Isn't there something we can do to help them? He says he's tried everything. He said he's tried everything, and he's way smarter than me. Even Oprah took a look and said all he could do was make him comfortable. That's a lot. Nah, there ain't much left of them at this point, sounds like. Hoping he'll come settle in Saddletuss once they're gone. Could use a few green thumbs like his to liven up the place. If we ever make it back there, I'll buck up, Plover. We'll figure something out. That's the nice thing about hitting rock bottom. It's all uphill once you bounce back from it. That's sure. But for now, we should probably get some rest. You're fucking heavy. Thanks. Welcome. Being stuck like this feels appropriate. I'm utterly useless. I can't do anything. I'm in my element. It's a feeling that fits me like a glove, like I've been wearing it my whole life. If only I could be different, better. Do you ever wish you were somebody else? Nah, I'm pretty great. I love me. Took some time to get there, but I think I got life pretty much figured out now. That's so, huh? How'd you end up so light? Well, how did you end up so enlightened? He takes a deep breath, pausing to consider for longer than I think I've ever seen from him before. Usually his thoughts seem to leave his maw without even checking in with his brain first. I actually used to be real down on myself, but once we settled down and settled to us, it really opened my eyes. There, people can be who they want to be, whether that's a man or a woman, whether whatever wrath is. Yeah, I'm unclear on that. And man, wrath, he got me thinking, maybe I can be a bit of both, pick what I like from each side. Before I met him, I figured I had to look a certain way for folks to take me seriously. For a while, there I even wrapped up the boys here till they got too big for it. You should you should have seen me in that dumbass poncho I used to wear to cover up. Honestly, can't imagine you being self-conscious. Ha! Since when I got you hold up here. Story time, I guess. Ha! Well, since I got you hold up here, story time, I guess. I'm the most captive audience possible. Back when I was growing up, me and Opa did the rounds on the outskirts of the Empire. The whole traveling healer bit I told you about. Weren't too bad at first. Got to see lots of different places, lots of different people. But tweeting, folks started treating me different. But folks started treating me real different when I started getting older. Real just middle shit. ladylike behavior they expected me to stick to. They started listening to me less and looking at me a lot more, and not in a good way. Yeah, really pissed me off how women were supposed to live over there. Made up my mind real quick that I wouldn't end up like that. So ever since I went out of my way to show everyone I ain't no lady. Yeah, abundantly clear. Back in the Empire, they said I had demons making me say that stuff. Made me wonder if we got, well, maybe wonder we all got demons in us. Hmm? But nowadays I'm realizing I do like taking care of folks and spending time with the little ones back in the village. And back in the Empire, they call that woman's work, huh? Yep, over there, it was pretty cut and dry. You're either one or the other, and you don't get to pick, and it determines your whole life. But out here, we get to decide who we are, and how we want to live. Way better. Yeah, and raising kids or taking care of people, or hell, even wearing a dress doesn't determine who you are. Wait, what? What was that last one? Don't worry about it. You know, for a demon, you make a pretty good listener. That's so. Yeah, way better than Gas. He always gets bored and wants to wrestle. I can't imagine how that goes. Yep, I always win, 'cause he don't play dirty. Of course, speak of play dirty. He gestures down to the raising bowls I'm overburdened by. Fuck, sorry, I've been getting like that around bedtime. Yeah, I've been smelling it. Why ain't you been taking care of it? You're gonna end up with blue balls this way. That's a real thing, right? Taff did tell me to take care of his body. Not that I can do anything about it now. Well, want me to take care of it for you? Yeah, I think you can do it yourself. Uh, Sorry, I don't think it's a good idea. Heh, no biggie. Besides, isn't there someone you can, isn't there someone you forgot to ask? God, gas, a light. Might be kind of weird for him to be getting strange right now, huh? Yeah, part of me worries he might be watching and listening, trapped in a waking nightmare but unable to scream. Yeah, that. Reminds me of a guy Oprah tweeted back when we was doing the traveling hero thing. Ate the wrong kind of scorpion or something and was locked in his own body, unable to move for years and years until Oprah came along. His family him lean had him leaned up on a wax staring at a white wall. They came by to force pores down his gullet twice a day. Fix his body, but his mind was gone. He just screamed and sick until we left. Wonder how he's doing nowadays. Damn, now I'm hungry. You want some midnight mushrooms? You know what? I'm good. Eventually slumber does claim me, and I fasten. And fitful rest, born dreams. Even the good ones hurt. They're just showing me the happiness I've ruined. I drift in and out, sticky snoring echoes into a full chorus section thanks to the cave stellar acoustics. At least it's warm. For his proximity brings with it his smell, every breath of which tortures my neglected libido. Over and over I wake to the incessant throbbing of my alarm clock, only to drift off again. In the aperture between delirium and dreams, I start to notice a tickling sensation. It slowly climbs my body, agonizing in its languid pace. Blurry eyes drifting open, I slowly see it coming into view as it begins to mount my stomach and travel higher. 8 hairy legs, 8 beady eyes. Sleep paralysis hits different when you're paralyzed. I think better of opening my mouth. It's too warm and inviting. I whisper through gritted teeth. Psst, stinky. The spider twits closer. It makes direct eye contact and then takes another step, a power move. Stinky. It crawls over my chest, curling its mandibles as they brush against my skin. I still myself for its embrace. Oh shit, free spider. Only for sticking the snatch of bugger and gobble it up in one bite. I gasp and cover my maw in horror. He swallows hard and sighs in snack bliss. Then he looks and sees the look of absolute displays on my face. Oops, sorry. Were you gonna eat that? That poor thing. Such a cute spider. I wanted to pet it. Really? Well, you're gonna be terrified of it. He pauses and looks down at my paws, perplexed. I follow his gaze, then realize I can move. I can move, Tav. I scramble to my feet as fast as I can. Too fast, I'll stumble. Everything is so stiff, I haven't moved a muscle for the better part of a day. But with a few more tries and Stinky's shoulder to lean on, I make to the mouth of the cave. I can feel the leaves growing slack. The moment I see him, he impacts me with such a punch in the gut, clicking around my waist and sobbing to my chest. Don't leave me like that again. Ever. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. No, you're not. I am. I still seen signs of the tango ahead. Instead, I was lashing out. His gaze drifts over to where Scar has Sticky pressed into a similar smothering embrace. The whole time I thought he didn't care. Sticky squeezes his old man back tight, trying not to cry. Scar does it for him. Heh, love you too, Dad. Well, damn, let's not get too sentimental. He's having difficulty maintaining emotional distance with about a slime escaping his face. Says a guy still wearing that ring after all these years. Huh. Tal looks back up at me, sniffling curiously. A blush overtakes him as he recognizes the scent of my morning mood. You should, take care of that. So I didn't realize you could, everyone can. Well, there will be plenty of time for Gas to do it himself when he gets back. Yeah, look, maybe he's having trouble putting it all together. It wouldn't be so bad if you both found a way to stay. Yeah, not bad at all. It's a nice thought, but somehow I doubt it'll be that easy. We're going to have to earn our happy ending. Oh, there's more. Scar reflexively rolls into a low stance and sizes up the enemy. Oh, sick, he brought the stretcher. Don't really need it now. Huh? Sorry. After some brief introductions, Cilantro guides us deeper into the cave. Apparently, through to the other side is the safest way to reach to reach the edge of the wormwood without running into them. He left through the passage. Sticky frames his fingers to remind himself which one is left. Once you hit the other side, you're through the worst of it, practically on the border. Tav updates some maps in the journal by mushroom light. It's almost worth taking a detour down here for a shortcut like that. Maybe not the direct route, though. Fair, it did take us all night to get down here safely. You haven't slept? I can handle it. Kid, here's a real trooper. We'll double plan the moment things went south. Good thing you found us so fast. Just a matter of following the leash. For once I'm thankful for it. Wait, never mind. Well, best of luck on your journey. I should get back home before they wake up. Don't want them to think I've abandoned them. We wave our farewells, but Sticky escalates his to a nice bone-crushing hug goodbye. He looks like he needed that. After he's gone, we keep going along the passage he set us on. I can't help but voice what's been gnawing at me. We should help him, right? Oh, believe me, we tried. But you can't feed a maw until it opens up. Or else we're just intruding where we're not wanted. And then he'll feel even worse for letting us down when things don't work out, huh? Yeah, from our perspective, it still looks like one big burden for him. But from this, who can say? He wouldn't do this if he didn't still love them. Talking about the wet blankets. Weep wallows. Them's the ones. What's their deal anyhow? An odd thing to ask considering he was the one explaining the very same to me last night. Tav explains it in detail before hustling a bit to catch up with Scar and talk strategy for the road ahead. I hang back a bit to sate my curiosity with Sticky. Why'd you ask him about things you already knew? Heh, 'cause he likes explaining stuff. Always cheers him up. Huh? Like, you ever make believe you're teaching stuff to someone? Makes you feel more confident about it. I guess it does. We catch up to the others before long. So what's the plan if we run into the Melissa? Imperial dogs are easy to kill. But I made the big guy a promise not to. So we do everything we can not to get caught in the first place. But if that don't work out, stay put. They'll catch a runner for sure. Then we'll just follow my lead. Up ahead, golden light pours in through a crack in the cave. Along narrow crevice, we're going to have to slide through, or the sidle through. Here comes that feeling again. I close my eyes and try to fight it as we move forward. But the walls are too tight. My breathing is all wrong. I freeze at the threshold as the others pass through. My stomach turns in on itself and anchors me in place. I can't do this. Come on, if my fat tits can fit, you're fine. Can't you voke it open any wider? Nah, gate's trapped. Channels through which magic can be drawn from the domain of a god. They can appear in the world itself in places attuned with a god's domain, or within people vocals who train hard can achieve better control and output from their gate. Without that kind of training, a voker can end up a danger to themselves and others. Sticky says magic stored in the gate. It keeps trying to sell me tit. It keeps trying to sell me hits. Ah, he's trapped. Tal looks back at me with concern. Gosh, I'm just a wreck. Too big, too stupid, just... Hey, you're going to be okay. He takes my paw and squeezes it, standing with me and taking deep breaths to set an example. We'll do it together. He fishes through his bag and places something in my paws. It's Clover, take this. It's easy to be brave if you have someone else to protect. He's right. I can do this. I have to do this for him. The force springs forth with a aplomb as we emerge. I can breathe again. We actually did it. The worst is behind us, right? Okay, well, that's it. And so they fall into this area from off the, I guess you can call it some kind of a bridge, sort of. So, Stinky and the main character, Clover, they've fallen into this area, and so I wonder how they're gonna get out. But Stinky looks to be alright. So I forgot his name, but he's like the older one. I guess you can say he's the leader of the group, I guess. But he's been getting kind of cranky since they left. He's been really snappy and angry, even. Anyway, so I talk Stinky had about when he was born. He was given a name and he tossed it out for his own name because I guess the name he was given was a girl name, but then he wanted to have his own name until he earned a boy name. He feels like he's not really a man yet because he feels like he hasn't done anything remotely close to what what's his name has done. And he felt like he's not worthy of having a male name because he's, Stinky. He thinks he's hasn't accomplished anything that what's his name again has done. Let me go back and see what his name is again. Okay, his name's Scar. So his name's Scar. He feels as though he's not worthy to have a boy name yet because he hasn't done remotely the stuff Scar has done. And Tav, both Clover and Tav told him that he literally can just get a boy name, just be a man, just be a boy. But apparently Sticky thinks he is supposed to earn it. He's supposed to earn a boy name. Anyway, and Tav kind of really got fed up with Scar's mood, and he snapped at him, and that he told Scar that he was a horrible father, and that he's just a father who doesn't seem to care about his about the kids, and Scar retorts by saying that he believes that the kids were better off without him, that he's not a good father, and that he really doesn't deserve to have any kids, and they don't deserve to be around near him because he feels like he's not worthy. And so both Tal and Scar have their argument, and it seems like, despite all of it, despite everything, Sticky still has high respect for Scar, even though Scar rarely was in his life. And Plover thought that Sticky might have known Scar a lot more, but then Sticky basically revealed that he doesn't really know him that much. He never really got to see what Scar was really like. Really, that's basically what Sticky admitted. So it looks like they escaped. Well, it looks like they managed to get out of the forest anyway, or at least that's what it seemed to be. Maybe not. Or maybe something else about to happen. But anyway, we'll have to see what happens next update. So thank you all very much for watching. Bye.